So magandang araw. So we are now on our second topic for this week, which is the improper integrals. So ano nga ba si improper integrals at paano natin sila sinasolve? So we have two objectives for this discussion. For number one, we have to be able to classify improper integrals as definite integrals with infinite limits or definite integral with non-continuous integrands. Okay? So ang unang nating goal, similar with our first approach, we have to first identify kung paano natin sila isosolve, or we have to simplify, evaluate the techniques that we can use in order for us to be able to reach objective number 2, which is to apply the appropriate integration technique and limit concepts to solve improper integrals and determine whether it converges or diverges. Okay? So, kung babalikan natin yung unang discussion natin from our week 1, we have that the discussion we're in. Lagi ko kayong sinasabihan na before you apply an integral or an integration doon sa isang definite integral, you have to check if the limits or if the function is continuous to that limit. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na continuity check before. Okay? So, bakit importante yung continuity check na ginagawa natin dati? Kasi, there are some functions na meron lang silang limitations. Remember the domain and range coming from your calculus 1. Hindi lahat ng functions ay covered niya yung buong Cartesian plane. Let me give you an example. Let's say meron tayong function na ang pangit ng red. Let's have a function that is 1 over square root of x squared minus 4. So, kung babalikan natin si domain and range, ang ginagawa natin is we will identify the possibilities kung saan magkakaroon ng either imaginary or undefined value itong functions na ito. Okay? So, what do I mean by that? So, hinahanap natin yung point kung saan yung function ay magiging non-existent. Non-existent. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya makatotohanan. So, paano ba nangyayari yon? Di ba ang ginagawa natin, we try to find the roots. Okay? So, sa ganitong scenario, ang ginagawa natin, we have x squared minus 4. So, we can say that x squared is equal to 4 or x can be positive or negative 2. Ibig sabihin dito, yung value ng x natin kapag positive at negative 2, this denominator will be equal to 0. And remember, kapag nag-equal to sa 0, 1 over 0, that is undefined. That is one range or limitation ng ating value. Hindi ito nag-i-exist sa Cartesian plane. So, hindi siya pwedeng maging positive 2 and negative 2. How about negative 1 or positive 1? Existing ba siya? Let's say, balikan natin ito. So, di ba pagka ipinactor out natin to, we have a difference of 2 squared, x squared minus 2 squared, which will have x minus 2, or sorry about that, naging x minus y. So, x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 2. Then, we have here x is equal to 2, x is equal to negative 2. Yan yung nakuha natin value, similar dito sa kanina. Ano? Okay, so this means that the values of x is limited to this, sabi ko nga. But it is also cannot be, okay, the value of x should not be a negative value. Di ba hindi dapat ito magne-negative? Kasi yung square root ng negative na number, that is imaginary. Therefore, on our Cartesian plane system, they are not existing. Hindi sila nangyayari. So, therefore, the values of x should be greater than 2 and the values of x should be less than, bakit 3 ang inilagay ko? 2 ang sinabi, 3 ang inilagay. Should be greater than 2 and less than negative 2. So, yan lang dapat yung values na meron tayo. Okay? So, kapag i-graph kasi natin ito, mapapansin natin, okay? So, itry nyo siyang i-graph sa GeoGebra or sa any other graphing tool like Mathway. So, ito ay magkakaroon ng asymptotic line na ganito. Okay? So, ganito yung graph niya. This point right here, kung saan nagkakaroon ng 2, ng asymptote is negative 2. What I mean about asymptote, it is a behavior of a function na let's say meron akong line, lumalapit siya, pero hindi sila nagdidikit. Never silang magdidikit niyan. Lalapit lang siya ng lalapit, pero hindi sila magdidikit. So, ito yung behavior ng isang improper integral. Okay? So, sabi dito, in this lesson, we extend the concept of definite integral to the case where the interval is infinite or where the function f has an infinite discontinuity. Kagaya nito, kapag meron kang asymptote, this is infinite discontinuity in A and B under either or both of the cases. The integral is called improper integral. Okay? Ayan, this is y. This is x. Okay? So, meron tayong magiging dalawang case pala dito. Kapag daw infinite yung limitation, paano naman yung infinite? So, balikan natin yung konsepto ni calculus, ni integral calculus. Di ba ang sabi natin, yung concept ni calculus is basically coming from the area. So, kung meron tayo ditong f of x, function of x, meron tayong limits a, limit b. Yung integral niya is actually the area within this region. Now, what if your limit is positive infinity and negative infinity? So, walang hangganan. So, ayan. Medyo pangit lang pero pagbigyan nyo na po. This is your f of x. Okay. Walang limitasyon. Unlike dito, this is a definite integral. Okay. Integral. Just lang yan. Okay. This is a definite integral. This is also a definite integral. Pero ang limits natin ay negative at positive infinity. So, kung walang hangganan, hindi natin maka-quantify yung area na ito. Okay? That is another case of our improper integral. Okay? So, by the way, balikan ko lang ito. Yung ating limits na to, mapapansin nyo, dito naka-bracket, pagdating dito naka-brace, may ibig sabihin po yan. Yung bracket, ang ibig sabihin niyan ay continuous. Yan. Yung namang ating parenthesis, ang ibig sabihin niyan ay discontinuous. Ibig sabihin na puputol na yung ating mga function at these points A and B. So, discontinuous din siya, disconnected. Okay? Exit. Napuntahan naman natin yung dalawang case ng ating improper integral. So, yung unang case is either both limits is infinite. Continuous, but continuous siya on both sides, pero parehong infinite. The case number 2 naman is an integrand f of x has an infinite discontinuity at an endpoint or one or more interior points in the interval. Ito yung example natin kanina. Merong discontinuity doon sa interior points, 'di ba? Kagaya dito kanina. Let me just go back. Ay, wala pala dito. Yung ipinlat nating asymptotic, 'di ba? Pagka ganyan, dito sa point na to, yung region na to, discontinuous, wala kang area. Ang may area mo lang is this part. Asymptotic pa siya, walang limitation. So, that is an infinite interval, okay? So, improper integrals cannot be computed using normal Riemann integral. Pag sinabi natin Riemann integral, sabi kasi ni Riemann, okay, yung atin daw integral, we can solve it as the infinite number, okay, infinite number of rectangular blocks. Kung meron ka daw graph, let's say, balikan natin, meron daw tayong graph na ganito, yung integral daw ay pinagsama-samang area ng maliliit na rectangle na yan. Since wala kang limitation under improper integral, hindi magiging applicable yung concept ni Riemann. Kasi sabi ni Riemann, kapag daw may limits ako from this point, let's say A, then to this point B, gagawin ko daw dyan is kagaya nito, hahati-hatiin ko siya into small bits of rectangles, okay? And then, kukunin ko yung sum nun. yun na daw ngayon yung magiging area at yun na rin yung ating value ng integral. Okay? So, yan yung sabi ni Rayman. Now, in this case, hindi siya magiging applicable. So, meron tayong dalawang type ng improper integral. Sorry. Napindot ko. So, yung unang type natin of improper integral is when the limit or the limit or interval of a or b or both are infinite. So, yung sinasabi dito, pwedeng daw isa or parehong limits ng ating integral ay infinite. Okay? Kapag kaganyan, that is our type 1 of improper integral. The next type naman is when the function has one or more points of discontinuity in the interval a and b. Ito naman yung case ng napuputol sa kagitna yung ating function, kagaya nung kanina, nung unang problem natin. That is our type 2. Okay? Type 1, isa or dalawa sa limits natin ay infinite. Sa type 2 naman, ang limits natin ay hindi infinite. Yun nga lang, may discontinuity doon sa gitna or napuputol siya sa gitna. Okay? Now, sa proper integral, sa improper integrals, meron tayong kailangang i-check. Okay? Ang kine-check natin dito, if that integral diverges or if it is converges. Okay? So, convergent meaning the limit exists. So, the defining limit exists and that limit is the value of the improper integral. Kapag ka naman divergent, that is that the limit does not exist or infinite yung value. Basically, we can say that the integral converges if we get a certain value, a specific value aside from infinite, undefined, or non-existence. Otherwise, it is a divergent. Okay? So, medyo marami tayong kailangan tandaan dito kasi for type 1, each type may tiga-tigatlong case. So, for type 1, case type 1.1, let's call this type 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. For 1.1, our limits, sabi natin, di ba kay type 1, isa or dalawang limit ay infinite. Okay? So, for type 1.1, yung infinite natin ay nasa upper limit. Pagka nasa upper limit, ang gagawin natin, i-rewrite natin yung integral natin using the limits of our differential calculus. That is, the limit daw ng ating integral from a to b, function of x dx, okay, as b approaches infinity. So, yung b na to, yung infinite na to, pinapalitan natin ng b and we use the concept of limits as b approaches infinity. Hanggang si b daw ay lumalapit sa infinity. Okay? And then we will analyze this using the concept of limits. For type 1.2 naman, baliktad, yung nasa ilalim naman natin ang ating infinite. So, we have negative infinity to b. Same scenario, papalitan naman natin ng a yung ating lower limit where a is a number that reaches or that goes near infinity. Okay? So, in this case, this should be a approaches negative infinity kasi negative infinity yung limit natin. So, paki-correct na lang. Pagdating kay type 1.3, parehong infinite, negative infinite to positive infinite. So, ang gagawin natin dito is hahatiin natin siya using a dividing line, a dividing point C. C is any number. Pero ang pinaka-ideal na gamitin kay C ay the ideal is that C is equal to 0. Kasi kadalasan, pag nag-i-integrate tayo ng when the value of our limit is 0, 0 din naman yung resulta. Okay? So, si 0 yung pinaka-ideal natin gamitin as value of C. Basically, kapag parehong infinite, mahahati siya into type 1 and type 2, wherein our C, we use 0 ideally. But if hindi siya applicable si 0, you can use any number. For type 2 naman, again, meron tayong type 2.1, type 2.2, and type 2.3. So, si type 2.1, okay, the condition naman is that our function or our integral is discontinuous sa a, sa lower limit. Kung discontinuous siya kay a, papalitan natin si a ng c. Okay? C lang muna yan, where C is a value that approaches positive A. When we say A positive, okay, positive ha, kunwari, ang value ng limit natin, ang value ng limit natin is integral of 0 to 3 ng 1 over square root of, palitan ko to ng 2. 1 over x squared minus 4, yan yung kanina, di ba? So, hindi pwede si 2. Kapag positive ang pinag-uusapan natin, di ba from the concept of limit, pinapalitan natin ito. Si 2 ngayon, magiging 2.0001. Okay? Kasi positive. Kapag ang nakalagay sa atin ay A negative, that would be 1.9999. So, basically, kung ito si 2, ito yung positive, ito naman yung negative, so, papunta ka dito, kaya 2.0001. Dito naman, 1.999. Kaya negative. Nagbabawas ka ng kaunting-kaunti lang. Okay? That is type 2.1. Similar sa kanina lang din naman. Yun nga lang, hindi na infinite yung limit natin. Discontinuities na lang ito. For type 2.2 naman, ganun din. So, this case, our C approaches negative value of B. So, dito ka naman kay 1.999. Isang example nito is that kapag ka ang limit natin is, let's say, integral, same pa rin ng kanina, negative 3 to negative 2, 1 over x squared minus 4 square root dx. Okay? Siyempre, hindi ka pwede kay negative 2. So, ang pipiliin mo dyan ay yung negative naman niya, which is negative 1.99999. Okay? So, almost 2 but not exact. Negative nga pala. Kung ito ay, hindi ko po kasi nabubura yan. Pasensya na kung medyo nagiging magulo yung ating writing. Kung ito ngayon ay yung negative 2, ang negative side niya ay negative 2.0001 at ang positive side naman niya ay negative 1.99999 kasi negative yung pinag-uusapan natin. So, our limit can be replaced by negative 0.2001. Kapag may calculator na kayo, ituturo din naman ni Sir yan later on. Pag type 3, again, similar lang din sa type, pagka type 2.3, similar lang din naman sa type 1.3, mahahati natin into two sections, type 2.1 and type 2.2. Hopefully that is clear, but kung meron pang konting confusion, we will fix it using our sample problem kasi we will discuss this the same concept on that. Now, gumawa lang ako ng konting summarization ng formula. Actually, I asked an AI kung merong mga konting mali, I suggest you check it out kasi hindi ko na siya na-counter check. So, this is just a cheat code. Not a cheating code, but kumbaga, we call it a cheat code because nandito na lahat. So, the values of our limits. Kung yan ang ating, kung x approaches is infinity, tapos ganito yung form natin, that is equivalent to infinity. So, yan lang naman yung magiging guide natin for selecting which one is infinite, which one is zero, which one is negative infinity, and others. Okay? So, now, let's proceed with sample problem. We have 8 prepared. So, we will solve this problem one by one. And along this discussion, magkakaroon ako ulit ng mga mini seat work, kadugtong ng inyong seat work sa previous discussion ko sa week 9.A. So, this is week 9.B. Okay? So, there is a deadline. So, you have to submit it before the deadline indicated in the GCR. So, that would be all for the discussion of the concept. We will now move to our sample problems. See you. So continuing our discussion with improper integrals. So we have here 8 sample problems that we are going to solve for this afternoon. So hopefully ay makasunod tayong lahat, and if you do have any questions, our GCR is open for your questions, and I will try or I will do my best to answer those questions. Okay, so let's start. We have here sample problem number 1. Evaluate daw natin yung 1 over 3x plus 1 squared dx from 1 to infinity. Now, based on our discussion earlier on, this is a case of type 1. Ano? Type 1 ito kasi yung isang limit natin ay infinity. Okay? So, anong type 1 ito? From our reference, we can say that this is a type 1.1. So, kung type 1.1 ito, then we can rewrite this as limit of integral of 1 over 3x plus 1 squared dx from our a is 1, our b is, let's call this b muna, where b approaches infinity. Okay? So that is our type 1. Okay? Now, ang gagawin natin dito is we will solve first yung ating integral. So, let's try to move it here. Our integral in question is 1 over 3x plus 1 squared dx. Now, how do we solve this? So, dito tayo gagamit ng iba't ibang technique na natutunan natin before. We can use substitution, integration by parts, trigonometric substitution, and so on and so forth. So, in this case, ang pinakamadaling gawin ay use substitution na lang. Simple lang naman, since we can let u equivalent to 3x plus 1. Okay? So, 3x plus 1. Then, our du becomes 3 dx. Therefore, our dx pala is du over 3. So, this integral can be rewritten now as 1 over du over 3, that is our dx, all over u squared, or simply this is 1/3 du over u squared, and we have to evaluate that value. So this is 1/3 now. Ang integral ng du over u squared is u raised to negative 2 plus 1 over negative 2 plus 1, and that would be negative 1/3. Ito magiging u raised to negative 1. So, this is negative 1 over 3u. Hopefully, we're clear on that. Now, since this is 1 over 3u, we back substitute u. So, meron tayong 1 over 3 multiplied by 3x plus 1. Okay, so ito na yung integral natin. So, this limit now can be rewritten as limit as b approaches infinity of negative 1/3 or 1 over 3x plus 1 from 1 to b. Okay? So, this is now our problem. So, actually, yung 1/3, pwede naman natin yung ilabas sa limit. So, pwede natin gawing 1/3 limit as b approaches infinity of negative 1 over 3x plus 1 from 1 to b. Okay? So, let's substitute our limits now. So, 1/3 limit as b approaches infinity. Unahin natin yung ating upper limit, which is b. So, negative 1 over 3b plus 1. Okay? Then, isusubtract naman natin ngayon yung ating lower limit, that is 1/3 limit of b as b approaches infinity. Ang pangit. Sorry guys. Ay, ang hirap talaga mag-drawing ng infinite. Let me just move this one para magkaroon tayo ng ample space. But then again, ito ibinalik lang ni sir dito. So this one is negative 1 over 3 times 1 plus 1. Okay. So, actually, on this second term, yung second term na to, wala naman tayong b. So, hindi na applicable ang limit dito. So, it can be rewritten as yung negative times negative, that would be positive. Yung 1/3 pa rin, multiplied by 1 over 3 plus 1 is 4. Or this is 1 over 12 positive. Itong side lang na to. But this side, sabi natin sa limit, ang ginagawa natin is sinasubstitute muna natin yung limit. Kung infinite yung limit natin, we substitute infinity here. So, sige, try natin yan. So, this becomes 1/3. Substitute natin. Negative 1 multiplied by 3 times infinity plus 1. Okay? Then, meron tayong plus 1 over 12. So, this becomes negative 1/3 multiplied by yung 1 over infinity. Okay? Ito magiging infinite na lang ito. Kasi, yung infinite, multiply mo sa infinite. Again, when we have n multiplied by infinity, that is still infinity. When we have infinity minus 1, that is still infinity. Kasi kung you treat infinity as a number. Say yung number na yan ay 1 times 10 raised to 100. So, hindi ko na alam kung paano ko babasahin yan. Pero pag binawasan ko ng 1 yan, di ba? 1 times 10 raised to 100 pa rin. Pag binawasan ko ng 1, okay? Pag binawasan ko ng 1, kasi hindi naman na magwa-water si 1 kasi masyado siyang maliit. So, that is still infinity. Okay? So, hopefully, nagets yun. Dahil ito, magiging 1 over infinity plus 1 over 12. Now, this is the trick. We have to learn how to evaluate infinity. How do we interpret it? So, again, you treat infinity as a very large number. It can be either, pag positive, 1 times 10 raised to 100. Pag negative, it can be 1 times 10. Negative 1 times 10 raised to 100. That is still negative infinity. Okay? Now, in this scenario, imagine, meron kang 1. Ito 1 over infinity is divided by 1 over 1 times 10 raised to 100. So, ganito na lang yung para madali nating maintindihan. We treat the number of people in the world as infinity kasi sobrang dami natin. Okay? So, we treat that number of people as infinity. Now, imagine, mayroon kang isang pizza. Paghahati-hatian ng lahat ng tao sa isang mundo. Ito yung pizza natin. Ito lahat ng tao. Lahat tayo. So, maghahati-hati dito. So, ano ang makukuha nila? Di ba ang makukuha nila ay, Sir, wala na tayong makukuha. Wala na. Oh, no more. So, therefore, yung 1 over infinity, that is equivalent to 0. So, in this case, this is 1/3 multiplied now by 0 plus 1 over 12. So, this term becomes 0. Then, our answer is 1 over 12. Since we get an exact value, an exact number, we can say that our integral converge at 1 over 12. So, this is now our answer. So, balikan ko lang si infinity before we proceed on some problems. Meron pa kasing ibang scenario. Let's say, ganito naman. Pag meron akong number, let's say 3. Yung 3 na to, uulitin ko ng maraming beses into infinity. Diba yaan din ay sobrang dami, sobrang raming mangyayaring 3. So, that is also equivalent sa infinity. Ano? So, you go back with our cheat code doon sa presentation para alam natin kung paano i-interpret when there is an involved infinite on our functions or on our terms. So, that is for sample problem number 1. We can now proceed on our sample problem number 2. So, for this sample problem, okay, we have to evaluate the integral of 1 over 2x minus 5 dx from infinity to 0. Again, since isang limit natin ay infinite, therefore we fall under type 1. So, sa type 1, pili tayo. Alin dito yan? So, ang ating lower limit ay infinite. Therefore, this is a type 1.2. So, kung type 1.2 ito, we can rewrite it as limit of integral of 1 over 2x minus 5 dx from our a to 0, where a approaches infinity. Okay? So again, similar sa approach natin kanina, we have to first evaluate this as indefinite integral. I-evaluate muna natin to ng 1 over 2x minus 5 dx. Okay? So, again, pwede kayong gumamit ng multiple techniques. Pwede, kung gusto nyo na integration by parts, okay lang din yon. Kung gusto nyo mag-use substitution lang, okay lang din. So, this case, mas madali kung use substitution ulit tayo. Let u is equal to 2x minus 5. Therefore, our du is 2 dx, where dx now becomes du over 2. So, our integral becomes the integral of du over 2, that is our dx over u, which is also, we can say that this is 1/2, okay, integral of du over u, or that is 1/2 ln, or what, sorry, nalimutan ni sir si 1/2 ln, our u is 2x minus 5. Okay, so simple lang, balik na natin dito sa ating limit. So, our limit, as a approaches to infinity, we have here 1/2 ln of 2x minus 5 from a to 0. Okay. Actually, this should be negative infinity. Meron nang hindi na ilagay siguro. Hindi siguro na isama sa pagkaka-type. Because negative to 0 ang pinag-uusapan natin. Hindi tayo pwedeng bumaliktad. Okay? So we approach, i-correct lang ni sir, we approach negative infinity. Ano yung pag negative infinity? So, ano naman yun? Sobrang liit na value, 0.0000001. That is negative infinity. Okay? Or negative 1 times 10 to 100, that is negative infinity. So, apply natin yung ating limits. Not this limit, itong limit na to, limit as a approaches to negative infinity ng our upper limit is 0, 1/2 ln absolute value of 2x, or 2 times 0 minus 5. Okay? Then minus limit as a approaches negative infinity of 1/2 ln 2a minus 5. Move natin to ng konti pa. So, hopefully nakakasunod tayo kasi medyo komplikado. Kailangan natin balikan yung mga topics natin before. Okay, so on this first term, wala naman tayong limits. Wala naman tayong variable a. So, we can just neglect it. Neglect na lang natin. So, what we have here is 1/2 ln of absolute value of negative 5. So, ln of absolute value of negative 5. Okay. Minus, so dito, substitute natin yung limits. So, we have 1/2 ln absolute value of 2 infinity minus 5. So, sige, imaginein natin. Meron ka nga yung 2 na infinity. So, dalawang 1 times 10 raised to 100. Binawasan ko ng 5. So, that is still 2 times 1, 2 times 10 raised to 100 pa rin. Hindi magbabago, So, this is still infinity. So, we can rewrite this as 1/2 ng ln of negative 5 minus 1/2 of ln of infinity. Okay. Kapag sobrang laki ng number, even kahit i-ln natin siya, let's say meron kang ln of 1 times 10 raised to 1, ito na lang ulit, ln of 2 times 10 raised to 1,000 or 100, 1,000 ba nilagay ni sir? Correct ko lang po. That is equivalent sa infinity kasi sobrang laking number niyan. So, this becomes 1/2 ng ln absolute value of 5 minus 1/2. Yung ln of infinity is infinity. So, kung yung negative infinity ay babawasan ko lang neto or dadagdagan ko neto, so walang mangyayari. So, this is negative infinity. So, ano yung ibig sabihin ni sir? Yung negative 1/2 ng infinity, let's say ito yung infinity natin ha, assumption ito yung infinity. So, our infinity here, yung 1/2 ng 2 times 10 raised to 1,000, kasi yan yung tinutukoy nating infinity ngayon, okay? That is 1 times 10 raised to 100. Okay? So, kung meron akong positive, let's say may value ito na positive number, randomly na lang, kapag sinolve ko siya, that is 1/2 ln of negative 5, naka-absolute tayo, so kahit ln of 5 na lang. Saan ba yung absolute nito? Yan. Ln of 5. So, this value is approximately 0.804. Tapos, isusubtract mo yan, ibabawas mo yan sa 1 times 10 raised to 1,000. Diba, ang mag-govern pa rin, pag kinalculate natin ito, that is still, ba't ba 1,000 ako ng 1,000? 100 lang. Okay? That is still negative 1 times 10 raised to 100, and this is also infinity kasi sobrang laking number nito. And this is negative infinity. So, this is our answer. And this is an example of a divergent. So, nag-diverge yung ating value at negative infinity. So, wala tayong exact value, just a negative infinity. Okay? So, that is our sample problem number 2. Let's proceed with our sample problem number 3. So, as you can see, the technique lang dito is i-simplify natin, okay, yung ating integrand, ma-simplify natin siya, makuha natin yung mga values ng limits, and then, balikan natin yung cheat code, ano yung mga values ng limits na to kapag ka-involve si infinity, or kailan nagre-result to infinity, positive or negative infinity, kailan nagre-result into 0 or 1 yung isang infinity. Okay? Those are the things na kailangan natin tandaan. So, for number 3, we have here integral of 2 minus v raised to 4 dv from negative infinity to positive infinity. So, this is definitely case 1.3. So, case 1.3. So, this now, it can be rewritten as limit. Okay? So, hahatiin natin siya. Limit, or wag muna natin ilagay yung limit. Integral muna tayo, negative infinity to c, okay, ng 2 minus b raised to 4 dv plus from c to naman, integral from c, ano ba yan? From c to positive infinity naman tayo ng 2 minus v raised to 4 dv. Okay? So, hinati lang natin, sinundan lang natin yung pattern. Now, sabi ko kanina, during discussion, ano yung ideal value of C? Kung ganitong scenario, from negative infinity to positive infinity, yung value dapat ng C natin ay gitna or nasa gitna ng dalawa. In this case, mas ideal gamitin si 0. Okay, pagka maghahati kayo, let's say, ang limit mo, ang initial limit mo ay, let's say, negative 3 to positive 3, or wag pala yan. 0 na lang, 0 to negative 5. Or positive 5 rather. Tapos, discontinuous dito, discontinuous din dito sa ilalim. So, ang pwede mong gawin dyan, hahatiin mo siya ng 0 to 2.5 plus 2.5 to 5. Let's say, discontinuous siya sa 2.5. So, may sample problem naman tayo niyan mamaya, okay? But for now, let's accept muna natin ito. Alright, so assume C is 0. So, this becomes integral of negative infinity to 0 dv plus integral of 0 to positive infinity of 2 minus b raised to 4 db. So, meron tayo ditong, ito ay case 1.2, and then this one is case 1.1. So, sige. But since pareho lang naman ng integrand ito, isolve na lang muna natin yung integral ng, ano ba yung integral ng 2 minus b raised to 4 dB. So, kunin muna natin ito para madali na lang tayong makapag-apply. So, dito, this becomes integral ng 2 dB minus integral ng b raised to 4 dV. So, this is 2v minus b raised to 5 over 5. So, this is our integral or the result of our integration. So, i-apply na natin yung rule. Papalitan daw natin ng limits ito. This one. Since case 1.2 ito, this will be limit as a approaches negative infinity of by the way, para madali tayong makapag-solve, paghihiwalayin siya ni sir. Itong unang term na to, let's call it I1. And then this second term, let's call it I2. So, para yung I1, yung I natin is equivalent sa I1 plus I2. Ito yung ating I. Okay? So, I1 muna tayo. Sabi natin, I1 is case 1. So, that will be a limit, okay, of integral of 2 minus b raised to 4. Doon pala yung 4. 4 dB from negative, since infinity ito, palitan na natin siya, negative infinity, this becomes a to 0 as a approaches negative infinity. Okay? So, our I1 becomes limit as a approaches to negative infinity of 2v minus b raised to 5 over 5, okay, from a to 0. So, I1 now becomes the limit of of a as a approaches to negative infinity. Unahin natin yung upper limit, 2 times 0 minus 0 raised to 5 over 5 minus the limit as a approaches negative infinity of 2a minus a raised to 5 over 5. Okay. So, dito sa first term natin, wala tayong a dito sa ating quantity. So, therefore, we can just apply it here. I-solve lang natin to as is. Wala na tayong isa-substitute. So, 2 times 0 minus 0, that is just simply 0. That is our first term. Yung pangalawa naman, since may a siya, substitute natin yung a doon sa ating quantity. So, we have 2 multiplied by negative infinity minus, okay, negative infinity raised to 5 over 5. Okay? So, this is 0. Yung negative infinity, tsaka times 2, that will be positive infinity minus itong negative infinity. Kapag meron tayong negative infinity na naka-raise sa odd number, that is equal sa negative infinity. Kapag may negative infinity tayo na naka-raise sa even number, that is equivalent sa positive infinity. So, this case, meron tayong negative infinity raised to 5, so that will still a negative infinity. So, the answer for I1 is actually minus, okay. Let me just fix it na, ayan. Okay. So, our term now is negative infinity minus negative infinity. So, this becomes, hindi to magka-cancel out. Although they are both infinity, imagine, yung una, that is 2 multiplied by 1, negative 1, times 10 raised to 100. Okay? Yung pangalawa naman, that is negative 1 times 10 raised to 100 raised to 5. So, definitely, this one is larger. So, ito yung mag-govern. So, even though this is minus, kahit ibabawas ko siya, this will become too large. Imaginein mo, 1 times 1 times 1 times 10 raised to 100, tapos i-multiply mo siya sa 1 times 10 raised to 100. Sobrang laki nito. Therefore, ang mag-govern sa atin ay this one, where therefore, this is 0 minus, this will be a positive infinity. So, this is negative infinity, and this is a divergence. So, nag-diverge tayo at negative infinity. So, we do not need to proceed on I2. Hindi na natin kailangang isolve si I2. Ano? Kasi pareho lang ng magiging result. We all know that this diverge to negative infinity. But, if the answer that is on the choices is not diverge or converge, kung exact yung hinahanap, you proceed with I2. Okay? So, to proceed with I2, let me just delete this part out. So, for I2, that would be equivalent sa limit, okay? Limit ng integral of 0, yung infinity, papalitan natin ng b, as b approaches infinity of 2 minus b raised to 4 dv. So, this becomes limit as b approaches infinity of 2v minus v raised to 5 over 5 from 0 to b. Okay. Substitute the values or expand these terms. We have here limit as b approaches infinity ng 2b minus b raised to 5 over 5. Yung limit na 0, actually nasolve na natin yan kanina. This is 0. So, we just subtract here minus 0. Okay? So, pwede na natin siyang tanggalin later on. Again, yung limit na 0, nasolve na natin dito, ano, sa I1. Yung limit na yon, which is 0. Okay? So, substitute natin. So, we have here 2 infinity minus infinity raised to 5 over 5. Similar case sa kanina, dito, mag-govern pa rin sa atin ay yung mas malaking value ng infinity. So, in this case, we have negative infinity. So, if the question is the value of I, wala talagang value si I because what we have is negative infinity minus negative infinity. So, the answer is just negative infinity. This is our final answer. But if the question is just nag-diverge ba or nag-converge, definitely, diverge yung sagot natin. Okay? So, bakit diverge? Sir, kailangan pa ba nating isolve yung I1, I2, or I3 kapag yung isa ay nag-diverge na? Kapag nag-diverge na yung isang term doon sa ating integral, hindi na po natin kailangang isolve yung mga consecutive terms kasi diverge na siya. Wala na tayong makukuhang value. That divergence will govern unless ang nakuha ko dito kay I2 ay positive infinity. So, there might be a question if it is 0 or infinity also. But you have to check dito. So, okay? So, that would be all for this sample problem, this part. So, let's see each other on the next part.